Welcome to Amaka Intellectual Factory, where I host podcasts and many other interesting stuff. Astrology. Is it evil or fake? The three major problems I have with astrology. I don't know about you, but I feel like astrology is a subject that can never grow old. According to Wikipedia, astrology is a range of divinatory practices recognized as pseudoscientific since the 18th century that propose that information about human affairs and terrestrial events may be discerned by studying the apparent positions of celestial objects. We are more familiar with the 12 sun astrological signs. I was born on March 21st, so based on the 12 astrological signs, that makes me an Aries. But there are other astrological signs that are not as popular as the sun signs, like the moon astrological sign. And according to the moon astrological sign, I'm not an Aries, but something different. Then there is the rising astrological sign, which also says I'm not an Aries, but also something different. And the list of other varieties of astrology goes on. If you call it a form of divination, then, my love, you are right. You are spot on, like the genius you are. Astrology is indeed a form of divination. And divination, according to Oxford Dictionary, is the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown by supernatural means. Divination is part of witchcraft because the ultimate goal of seeking knowledge of the future through divination is manipulation. And witchcraft is all about manipulation. If you're a Christian and an avid reader of the Bible, then you know that all over the Bible, divination, astrology, numbers reading, palm reading, and all those similar practices are strongly condemned in the Bible as sorcery or witchcraft. Like I said earlier, these practices are used to manipulate or control people's lives by people who typically want to play God. So here are the three major problems I have with astrology. 1. Those who use it to control others, which is pretty much all practitioners of astrology, be them real astrological readers or fake astrological readers. This point gives me an opportunity to address whether I think astrology is real or fake. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'll give you a straight answer, and that is, I am convinced that astrology is real. The ancient Egyptians, especially dynastic ancient Egypt, believed a lot in astrology. Ancient Atlanteans also believed a lot in astrology. I'm also guessing the ancient civilizations of ancient Sumerians, ancient Phoenicians, ancient Minoans, and ancient Carthaginians also believed in astrology. Even the famous Dogons that a lot of Pan-Africanist and Afrocentrist sympathizers like to reference believed a great deal in astrology. These are historical geniuses who built civilizations far more advanced than ours. Now, me, as someone who was driven to study the occult because of the strange things I started to experience the moment I moved to Los Angeles, I can categorically inform you that astrology and other forms of divinations are part of the foundations of occultic knowledge. Even the Nazis and Hitler especially were obsessed with astrology. My study of the occult starts and ends with the history of the occult. Like those who practiced it, how they spread it, and the devastation of their practice. After all, the Bible does advise us to be as wise as serpents and as gentle as doves. The Bible also advises us in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 11 to 13, to put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Like I said earlier, I just concern myself with the history of the occult, the people who engage in this behavior, and the destruction they cause. I do not concern myself with the practices of the occult. And when I read books that have this information, I skip those parts where the practices are outlined. You know, those parts that tell you to have an altar and what to put on the altar and all. Because just like the Bible, I strongly condemn witchcraft. It's a thin line between astrology and outright witchcraft. The daily astrological readings are fun, but they are addictive, and they can drag an unsuspecting person or a simpleton to outright black magic or witchcraft. In summary, on this point, the first major problem I have with astrology are those who use it to control others. And yes, I do believe astrology is real. I also believe that majority of those who practice astrology and other forms of divination are working with demons and other malevolent spirits. It is not extreme to me when a Christian who outrightly condemns astrology says you are entertaining spirits through astrology and you need to stop. Or if they go as far as saying that there is a spirit behind those zodiac signs. To me, that is not religious fanaticism. It is only a brilliant mind capable of engaging in intellectual conversations that can come to such realization. Because it is true that a lot of people taking this astrology thing further are working with malevolent spirits and demons. The second major problem I have with astrology are fake astrological readers. They can be just as damaging as the real ones because their primary motivation is financial. And then the third major problem I have with astrology are those who take astrological readings so seriously and literally that it dictates their lives. In my case, my sun sign is Aries. They say I am least compatible with Pisces and Virgo. But my personal life experience has proven otherwise. On the contrary, Pisceans and Virgos are super amazing people. Now, if you refuse to be associated with the sun sign your birthday falls under, you are well within your right to refuse such an identification, and I totally respect that and would not address you as that. If you are a Christian and would like to be addressed as the salt of the earth, the light of the world, a royal priesthood, the temple of the Holy Spirit, the righteousness of God, and an ambassador of Christ, then be rest assured that that is how I would address you, because you are very right, like the super brilliant genius you are. For the sake of time, I can't engage in further discussions on this point. But yes, sweetheart, you are right. So, is astrology all over and outrightly evil? My answer is no, because I honestly believe that accurate predictions and even prophecy can be made through the study of the celestial realm. I believe it is, however, a deeply occultic knowledge meant for very disciplined heavenly beings and not human beings. Basically, I will put it among those types of knowledge that mere human beings don't have to concern themselves with. I will end this video with this point though. There is a very popular and unconventional Indian archaeologist named Praveen Mohan. In one of his videos explaining astrological symbols in ancient India, he pointed out how each astrological sign on the carvings had a human being writing those signs. So for instance, Aries is symbolized with a ram, and a person is seen riding the Aries ram. Taurus is symbolized with the bull, and a person is also seen riding the Taurus bull. Praveen Mohan's explanation for this depiction is that even though our behavior is influenced by these astrological signs, once we are aware of this influence, we can take charge of our lives by succeeding over the shortcomings that we supposedly possess by virtue of the influence of these signs in our lives. Well, that's all I have to say for now. Until next time, take care of your lovely, beautiful selves. And remember, life is beautiful and worth living.